Halloran returns to the Black Spot, saying that they're going to have a party. The reason he says he needs booze so badly is because it dulls the shine. You cannot turn off the shining ability completely, but you can dull it. This is why he starts hallucinating water in broad daylight. He learns that Charlotte hid Hank Grogan in the back, explaining why the Legion of White Decency tries to show up at the end of the episode to burn him down, and it's all part of Pennywise's grand plan with his next augury. And we also learn that Ingrid is the reason why the Legion of White Decency learns that Hank is there. She is the anonymous tipster at the end of the episode who called the police and said that Hank Grogan is at the Black Spot. All because she thinks that this augury will help bring her father back, who is the It entity she doesn't realize yet because she's fully Pennywise pilled. Will and Ronnie have a moment. Ronnie is named after one of It's victims, but it's during a different time period in the books, so it's possible that the Muschiettes have changed her storyline and she does wind up marrying Will and becoming Mike's mother. Like, it could happen. But when Halloran tells Charlotte to leave him out of this mess with Hank Grogan, I think that's a reference to the Shining story in Dr. Sleep. They have to explain why Halloran survives the Black Spot event because of plot armor. We know that he shows up later during the events of the Overlook in the Shining storyline. Leave me out of this because I need to survive to a storyline later in the timeline. We also see him inside the Black Spot at the end of the episode when the Legion of White Decency rolls up, so they'll also have to explain how he makes that out of there before they burn it down. There are a couple people we know have to survive for plot reasons. Marge and Rich have a bit of a moment, probably setting up more tragic twists. This whole episode felt like Marge falling in love with Rich. We knew that Rich was already in love with Marge because he has the secret love note to her inside his shoe. When he says he was in Weeblos, I was also a Weeblo in real life. It's short for We'll Be Loyal Scouts, and it's part of the Boy Scouts program for younger kids. So if you were also in the Boy Scouts at some point, or you were a Weeblo at some point, let me know in the comments. There have been a lot of theories about Rich and Marge and the idea that Marge will wind up being Richie's mother from the It movies, and she names her son Richie in honor of Rich, who she was in love with and potentially sacrificed himself to save her. It just feels like they're building towards a moment where she does fall in love with him, which he seems like she has by the end of the episode, and something happens to him, he loses his shoe, she finds it, then finds the love note in the shoe, and then that winds up leading to her eventually naming her son Richie. You're named after a boy that I love and who sacrificed himself to save my life. It just feels like all the good stuff that happens with them building their relationship in this episode is just going to build towards more tragic things in the future. One of the big rules of thumb in stories like this, horror stories, is that anytime any character experiences joy, usually they pull the rug out from under their feet. You could also look at his airplane then falling directly into the storm drain as a reference to Pennywise and this coming to pass eventually. Also, Georgie's boat landing in the storm drain.